So, Nintendo has filed some new patents regarding some virtual reality equipment for the new upcoming Nintendo Switch device. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, I will show you guys some videos, or sorry, some images of this device, this VR device. But for those of you guys that are watching live, you will unfortunately not be able to see that. But if you imagine kind of like the Google Cardboard or the Samsung Gear VR, that's basically what it is. So you're going to take your Nintendo Switch tablet and you're going to insert it into this kind of like viewer thing. And then I'm assuming you'd put that on your face. It probably has like ear straps to go around it. There's kind of a crude drawing of the front part of it where the Switch would kind of go into it. And it has like two eye holes where you would view through it. So, everyone's kind of going crazy about this because this means that they're probably going to be bringing back 3D to the Switch as well, which is really cool. As I mentioned last week during our Pokemon Moon first impression series, first impression video, I really like the 3D effect, and I'm glad to see Nintendo still pursuing that. I do also think that VR is going to probably be the future of gaming. I don't think that the technology is quite there yet where it can completely overtake traditional gaming. Once we have more things like either like laser sensing or like motion sensing things that we can kind of connect to our body, maybe we'll even see some stuff like in the game. I don't know if any of you guys have ever played Star Ocean 3 Till the End of Time, but where they have these rooms where you can go in and you can basically it's like a huge VR chamber, and you can fight monsters and everything just by being in that room. It kind of holographically projects the game around you. That's pretty cool. It would be nice to see that. Of course, we are miles away from that kind of technology right now. But one of my favorite guilty pleasure games is the dot hack games, where basically the story is you're playing an MMO that's trying to kill you, kind of thing. Kind of also like what's the name of that? Sword Art Online, the popular anime. That's I really like that the HMD technology that they use in those games that actually spurred me to go out and buy a really rudimentary HMD probably like 10 years ago now. I think it was at the time it was called iQity. Now I think the company has changed. I think it's called Vuzix, but basically it was this really rudimentary, it was actually VGA thing, and surprisingly it actually worked with Half-Life 2 at the time, and it actually looked amazing with Half-Life 2. But today if you went back, because it's VGA and it's literally the I don't remember what the exact resolution was. I think it was actually 640 by 480. It just looks like pure trash, I'm sure, based on today's standards. But you got to remember, this was like 10 years ago. It would be really awesome to see HMD technology kind of become the norm for gaming, and some kind of motion sensing or something like that. Not only is it a way to get people off their asses, but it's also kind of a way to make the games feel more realistic, and at some point introduce an actual level of like ability or skill that goes beyond just moving your thumbs on a joystick, like actually being able to do the movements with your body and stuff like that. I think people would really kind of get into games like that, even if you have to go to a special place in order to access that kind of experience. Remember, again, I'm citing really a kind of obscure games here, but Digimon World 3, where you actually had to go to a like Digimon World, I don't know what it's called, like a center or something, like a game center or an arcade, where you would climb into one of these VR pods, and then you would be connected to the virtual world of Digimon. And something like that, I think, would even be, people would be willing to do that, and you would see them pop up in cities all over. But of course, we're kind of getting way off track here. Again, I do think that VR is the future, but as far as this particular thing goes, I am really happy to see it for Nintendo. It does mean that they're going to kind of stick with the 3D as a theme. I do think that was a big success for them. Again, I know some people really dislike the 3D, and there's a whole health concern that came out about the eye strain and whatnot, but I really don't think it's any worse than staring at a display for hours on end. So even if you are kind of technically sitting closer to the screen just by looking at VR, I don't think that's a big deal.